Hello Year 7, welcome to your second lesson on fantastic places. This week we're going to look at Antarctica. The title today is to assess the threats to Antarctica. So on our learning journey, first of all we're going to explore Antarctica's geographical context. So we're going to look at where it is in the world. Secondly, we'll explain the threats to Antarctica. And finally, we'll use what we learned in the lesson to evaluate which threat is the biggest. First of all, in Year 7, we're going to look at the location of Antarctica. On class charts, you should have a document named Antarctica Information that looks like this, which should help you out with this piece of work. So first of all, we're going to complete a table that looks like this. Could you, in your books for me, draw a table in about 10 lines under each section, with each section labelled climate, location, plants and animals, and politics. If you are working at developing level, you will have to answer just the first question on each of these prompts for you underneath each column. That's for developing, just answer the first question. If you're working at a secure level, you could answer at least 2 questions from each column, or if you're feeling confident, answer all 3 for climate and politics. Then finally, on your whiteboard, you could tell me if mastered which one of these threats is the biggest to Antarctica. So for mastered on your whiteboard, tell me which threat is the biggest to Antarctica. And just to help you out a little bit, if you remember on your climate graph, the blue bars, they are showing you the rainfall, and the red line is showing you the temperature. Remember again, take a picture of this to upload it onto class charts. The second part of the lesson will look at threats to Antarctica. On the slide for you, I've given you 8 threats. These are global warming, overfishing, invasive species, tourism, digging up oil and gas, scientific bases, ocean acidification, and pollution. With these 8 threats, you will read through the information and then rank them into your Diamond 9. So for your developing task, you will rank them in your Diamond 9 with the biggest threat at the top and the smallest threat at the bottom. Once you have read through all of those, for secured, you will explain why these threats may be increasing. So read the information and think, why will these threats be increasing in Antarctica? What is happening in the world that will increase the amount of threats to Antarctica? And finally, for your master task, using the video link, can you think of a 9th threat to Antarctica? As I've only given you 8, there should be 1 space left on your Diamond 9. You can use your video to help you fill in that blank space. Once you've completed this, remember again, take a picture of it to upload onto class charts. Our final part of the lesson will use information and the Diamond 9 that you've created to evaluate the biggest threat to Antarctica. So in your books, could you draw for me a face and a speech bubble that we're going to fill in with some sentence starters to answer that question. The first question asks you to tell me which threat is the biggest to Antarctica. You can use your Diamond 9 for this, which threat was at the top, your biggest threat to Antarctica. Secondly, for your developing points, could you tell me why you think that? Your sentence starter is I think this because. Is there any evidence you can use, any information from your Diamond 9 you can add to that and tell me why you think that? Secondly, for secure, you will tell me what does this mean. So the sentence starter will be, this means that. What will this mean to the future? What's going to happen because of your threat? And remember, if you can, link it to SEEP. That is social, economic, environmental, and political. And finally, for your master task, you will answer, however, some may argue a bigger threat is. You can tell me which threat you think could be bigger than the one that you've named. That's your master task. Remember again, a picture of this to upload to class charts, your completed speech bubble and face. So that's all of our work done for this week. Just a quick recap of what you have to upload for class charts. First of all, the first part of the learning journey, looking to explore the geographical context, you need to upload a picture of the table and your whiteboard saying which one of these could be a threat to Antarctica. For the second part of the learning journey, explaining the threats to Antarctica, you should upload the Diamond 9 ranking the threats that are there to Antarctica. And finally, for the last part of the learning journey, to evaluate the biggest threat, you should have a complete speech bubble answering these sentence starters. Thank you very much, Year 7, for your work on the home learning. Look forward to seeing this and marking your work.